Can I go to Spike's house? He asked me last week. Who's Spike? Mom, I've told you. That's what we call Sam Spiner. I actually have heard Sam Spiner's name a few times, but as I mentioned before, I couldn't tell you what he looks like. Where does he live? What I'm really asking is how far am I going to have to drive? I don't know, Max shrugged. And really, why would he? When I was a kid, I rode my bike everywhere, so I always knew where people lived. I don't think Max would even know how to get to his own school, because he just sits in the back of the car and looks at his phone. Teaching him to drive should be interesting. After a short back and forth about my comfort level with Max's visiting the house of a kid whose parents I don't know, I convinced him it would be easier if Spike came to our place. Apparently, he's lucky enough to have a mom who doesn't care what her son does. At least that was Max's takeaway from the whole thing. He was not happy because Spike has the newest Xbox and they were going to play Fortnite. All we have is the original Wii, but I made it up to them by ordering pizza. So when I shared my feelings about being out of the loop, Ron, being a man, decided then and there to fix my problem by making all kinds of suggestions about how I might be able to fill my time. These included going back into the PTA cesspool. I'd rather listen to Baby Shark on repeat for the rest of my life. Volunteering in the cafeteria. Raise your hand if you can see me as the lunch lady. Or hosting a mom's coffee clatch once a week. I'm still laughing at that one. I told Ron I just wanted empathy, not a grocery list of suggestions, and the conversation ended with a hostile goodnight to each other. So this morning's email is the fruit of my attempt at getting involved. As a mat mom. For the school's wrestling team. I couldn't be more shocked if I were posing nude in Playboy. Our son has never displayed any interest in joining a sports team, no matter how many times Ron waved a ball or a stick in front of him. So you can imagine our surprise when he announced at dinner after his first day of 7th grade that he'd decided to wrestle. I'll admit, at first I laughed because when anyone mentions wrestling, I immediately think of Hulk Hogan and Randy Macho Man Savage, the two heroes of WWE wrestling from my youth. I was confident Max would outgrow this little whim and continue on his path to greatness as a computer genius or mid-level accountant. Of course, Ron was thrilled. "That's great, buddy," he said, and I swear to God he had tears in his eyes. Why wrestling? I couldn't stop myself from making a someone just farted face as I asked it. Coach D said the team could use a guy like me, Max said with a big smile, then shoved an overflowing forkful of mashed potatoes into his mouth. I frowned at his bad manners. "I need to make weight," he informed me with his mouth full. What does that even mean? I asked him. I looked to Ron for support, but he had his mouth full of chicken cacciatore. What a pair. I was flattered, Max said earnestly after he wiped his face with a paper napkin. No coach has ever asked me to join a team before. So you've been waiting for an invitation to join a team? Ron asked. No, but he said they need me. I was about to point out that no one at this table gave a royal rip what Coach D needed, but Ron cut me off. Do you know anything about wrestling? We did it in PE last year. And you liked it? Ron encouraged. I didn't not like it, Max replied with a shrug. Buddy, I think it's great. It's a tough sport, but a good one. Just be prepared to work hard. I will. Are any of your friends on the team? I asked him. Nope. They all play soccer in the fall. He stood up. I have homework. Take your plate to the sink, please. Judging from his groan, you'd think I just asked him to scrub all the toilets in the house. He grabbed his plate with exaggerated ennui and dropped it in the sink with a bang. Max! Ron rebuked him. Sorry, he mumbled and walked out of the kitchen. What's your problem with wrestling? Ron asked me when he was gone. I don't have a problem with wrestling. I just don't get the appeal. I picked up our plates and took them to the counter. I mean, does he even have the build for it? Max is in the awkward growth spurt phase of life, and right now, the best way to describe him is gangly. He's probably hoping it will help him build some muscle. Ron pulled out his phone and started typing. Who are you texting? I'm not. I'm making notes on what he'll need. I looked over his shoulder and read the list. Shoes, headgear, singlets, and a grappling dummy, whatever that is. I'd already lost interest, and Ron could tell. You know, wrestling takes incredible discipline. If Max gets into it, we could see some better behavior around here.